big number, big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Set, ready? 90, Wolf.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Here we go, here we go. Check.
Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
X3, 218, chopper.
Showing it. Kill.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Throwing on first down, Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Here we go, G, get off the field.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Jones on first and 10. It's complete to Golden Tate. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Throwing Jones. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jaleel Johnson breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Jones. Finding his target, it's Cody Latimer. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing up.
And got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. On 2nd down, Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Hey, exit.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10.
Don't be scared.
On 1st and 10, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Check. Slam.
Here's a give to Barkley. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4, still 3 yards short. 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Check 13. Check 13.
First down, here's the run with Cook. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Oh, you got deep?
To throw is Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Here's Cousins. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
To throw, Cousins. Pass incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. He had 3 catches last week. That one, his 3rd on this drive alone.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Well, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
We're going, let's go. Jump.
Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On third down, Cousins. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Dalvin Tomlinson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. New York set to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Giants on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Jones now operating from the gun. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This is brought in at the 21. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Cook following the penalty. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Gun. Stay with your man. Hey, Mike 52, right behind.
from the shotgun. It's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Returning is Peppers. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Watch the out, watch the out. Hey, foxtrot.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we come upon halftime. 6-3 is our score. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action now. Cousins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said, it's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll run it again with Barkley. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Open man right side is Ingram. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, first down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Play fake. Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
On play action, Cousins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
3rd and 10 wasn't going to be easy. Now after the holding penalty, they have to deal with a 3rd and 20.
Lay 50.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Check, 93's the mic, 93's.
They go play action. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now Jones throwing to start the drive. And he coughed it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Off the play fake. Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. A give. This is Cook. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Listen to me.
Throwing, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dexter Lawrence in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
Set 18 Gator.
65.
On first down, Jones. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
55, right there in the middle, 55. Get in the way.
From the gun, Jones will get this out to Barkley, complete. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 1. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, he's a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Rosa's kick is good. And that'll move him back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably.
Now a hit and a loose football. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Elijah Penny, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from leading this game.
I'm glad we were paying attention during the rules seminar, because we learned the only time you can't advance a fumble like that is in the last 2 minutes of either half.
Right. Other than that, if that ball's out, whether forward or backwards, it's live and free for anybody.
No doubt about it. When you say free, that means he's got free reign to pick it up and go. And that's exactly what happened there. Took it in for a touchdown.
Let's go, baby.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing is Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Check, 55 for Mike. Check, 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 check.
Now Jones, a big spot for the rookie from Duke. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jaleel Johnson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Throwing Jones. Flushed out right. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Keep it up, defense.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Back to throw. The Lattimer's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Go, go. Go.
Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
198. Watch 98. 98's a mic. Come on.
Gun.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. He's got a man, complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
He's back to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh. 5.
Right there.
Jones throwing on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jones now to throw again. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Minnesota, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.